each other.
Yes. I showered. All right, ladies, we are going to go ahead and start just with a word of prayer. So this is never us putting our faith in you, but if you are a faith, this is obviously how we start all of our events. So if you can just bow your head and close your eyes. Father in heaven, we just thank you so much for just this afternoon of legacy, this afternoon of leadership, this afternoon of love, Father God. We just put you at the center of our business. We put you at the center of closing out our fall advance with legacy leaders. We're so grateful that they made the trip and the truck over. And Father God, we just ask that this be blessed. Father God, we just lift it up right now in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. All right, you guys. Well, we are going to go ahead and start just like in Mary Kay fashion, really quickly. So I just want to give you your quick agenda for this afternoon. You guys, it is amazing. We were obviously in prayer before this, and I said, just give us these women. Have this be such an intimate group. You guys, you are the legacy. You have been in for over a year, right? So we're going to meet you guys in just a little bit. So if you're disappointed, get excited because we have your 3 trainers. So let this not be a level of disappointment. Let this be a level of excitement. And so last night there was a number of directors that trained. This morning there was a number of directors, and we are not the leftovers. We are the dessert. We're the dessert. We're the yummy dessert. All right, you guys. So we're just excited, but we are going to start in true Mary Kay fashion with some recognition. And so we just want this to be a spirit of, if you come to your weekly success event, you'll already know your numbers. If you don't, you're like, I have no idea. So we're going to go ahead and just recognize, and we have gifts all out in the foyer, and so right by the drink table. So when you win, you'll run out there just like you won the lottery, and you will grab something, and you might not be able to see it if you're grabbing the pillow. That's a pillow. Okay? No surprise there. And then text a picture of it and send it to your sales director, like whatever, like you with the gift or whatever. We just wanted to try and get as many fun photos that we cannot obviously always be around to take a picture. So at the end, we are going to have a photo opportunity as well. So get excited about that. You guys love photos. Carrie, if she wins, she might run this whole so be careful. All right, you guys. So we are going to go ahead and start with the bloodline of our business, and those are our bookings. And so we are talking about new bookings from last week until this week. So if you have any new bookings, virtually, in person, toe to toe, follow up at a party pack, can you just stand with your new bookings? Woo-hoo! Yeah! No, but wait. Okay, Courtney, how long have you been in Mary Kay? Like 2.5 years. Okay, how many new bookings? 5. 5, and those new bookings in person, over the phone, virtual. Okay. And are those all individual? Yeah, they're all phone. But one of them is looking for me. Okay. I love it. Oh, picture. Okay. You go grab. She'll meet you in the foyer. Okay. Oh. People telling you what to do. Love it. Okay. Let me just give you this really quickly, and I will say this to virtual. I know that if you have not joined us virtually, we are real tall, and then Christine's going to get up here and heighten it. But really quickly, I know sometimes it gets loud. When we get loud, that's how Zoom works, is it like mutes you out. So just for virtual purposes, I always tell this every Tuesday and every Monday. We try and really have it be, I mean, obviously this, like, they can't really hear that because it just deafens that, the noise. And so we're just, unless, we're actually speaking, we just want to try and make it as quiet as possible. Okay. I like pride with the spirit fingers. Okay. But this is the time to get loud because it's recognition. Okay. Let's go to sales. So you open your mouth, you open the business, right? And so that's so important. Last night, Jasmine said, Jasmine, can you hear me? Yeah. What we say last night? A closed mouth never gets fed. A closed mouth never gets fed. So you opened your mouth, you have money. I love what my DIQ Jen Holland always says. She says, "Oh, you don't have money? Oh, you got product. You have money."
Ooh.
And so if you opened your mouth this week and you sold products, go ahead and stand. We're so excited.
Woo!
Yeah. Okay, so this is the number of products that you sold. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20, 25. Where you at? 36. Woo! Okay. It's like Sam Black, but it's not Black.
No, it's Sam Signs in spirit until the Bible's changed.
Okay. She was
In the state of Michigan, in America, I'm still Sam Black. But.
So she was getting married on her honeymoon. I saw your post when you were on your honeymoon. Still working. Looked a little different. She had her feet like on a lounger. Nobody felt sorry.
Yeah, I
for
really
you.
used Aruba as an aesthetic to sell products.
She's like, look at my best, like her feet in the sand, the ocean. Like nobody felt sorry for you. But if this
I don't need them to feel sorry for me. I just need them to buy products.
like every day I'm hustling. So, what was that in sales?
$666.
Wow. I
saw one face, like at least one face, and I've built like a really decent customer base over the years. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Go ahead and grab a gift. I love it. Allison's like, I'm here as the photographer. You keep denying me. What are we up to? Oh, she left as the stash queen. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Christine, for all your help.
Yeah,
Okay, so we saw number of faces last week. So Sam, we know that you're standing for one. If you saw at least one face, you put product in people's face, you saw them virtually, you were walking them through a pink party pack or whatever that looks like. If you saw anybody last week, stand. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are you at, 3? 3. Toronto in the house. Okay, everybody. I'm so sorry. Let me just ask Sam, how long have you been in?
I've been in 4 years now.
4 years. Awesome. Okay, so tell everybody who you are.
I'm Brittany. I've been in for a year and a half now.
Yes. Okay. So 3, was that all together, virtual, in person? What was that?
In person.
All together?
No, separate.
All separate.
Yep.
Okay. Give her a round of applause. Yes, that's right. I know now. Okay. Go grab your prize. All right. We always save this one. It's my favorite one. And there are so many reasons behind why this is my favorite one, but this is the other oar of our business. When we sit in a Mary Kay canoe, right? We can't just spin ourselves in a circle for the product. We need to do both. Mary Kay asked us to do both. And so if you had any sharing appointments, toe-to-toe, over the phone with your sales director, follow-up that she did, new team members, go ahead and stand. Yeah! Okay, Ron. Okay, come on up here. Hey, did Toronto have any? I know she's making her way back.
Do you have any sharing?
That was really aggressive from the other room.
No.
Come on up. Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Julie,
And how long have
and I've
you
been in for 5 years.
Yay! I'm going to have you stay here a second because when we talk about you and Mary Kay, you know it's always good. And Jody and I just had a conversation yesterday morning. We were talking about you. You've had this rekindled fire. Like, where did that come from?
I'm tired of working my day job,
Yeah.
busting my you-know-whats for nothing.
Oh my God.
And my baby's going to graduate college here in 8 months. And I told my husband, I said, I'm done. Her college tuition is paid for. And I'm going to go balls to the walls with it and just see where it takes me. So then hopefully here I can quit that day job. I love that. Go balls to the wall. I got 2 girls under me now, and I got one in the works. Fingers crossed that she signs on Friday with me at her second session. She's already had the interview with Jody, and I'll be red. Woo!
I'm in last night's class. I'm in this class, and that's awesome because Jody already said she's going to be read by the end of this coming week. And so I love you guys. You guys all, like, seriously, she praised on you, so I get to praise on you because she couldn't be here for a wedding, obviously. But you guys were pivotal. Pivotal in finishing this Cadillac. Woo. Like, it just took your guys' stuff. Like, when she said last night she needed to do it for you guys, for you to see, and I mean, she praised all of you last night. Is such, I mean, what a time to come back. What a winning season.
I look and I've watched Jody myself move and just move. So I took it when we come down to the end there in the crunch it, I took it as if I myself, you know, that we're so close. Let's, you know, not let it slip away. So
Awesome. It was awesome. People walked in and said, the party's here! Okay, Julie's back. All right, we're so excited. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask if you already have your spark done for the month, right? Because that's what we're focused on. Spark, that's like the minimum. That's what we want to be consistent. We are in the midst of that. So that's your 600 wholesale. If anybody in here has their spark already completed on the 10th, can you please stand? We just want to celebrate you. Okay. Okay. If you are tracking for that, can you just give a hey yo? If you have been consistent since the start of the year, can you just give a hey yo? Okay. Those that have been consistent, did I just see 4 hands go up? Let me see a show of hands again. Go grab a prize. Okay, what do I have?
I don't think
it's like I have 12
days. I know.
Who has a birthday besides Andrea? We know she likes chocolate and she's wearing her birthday sweater from me. But besides Andrea, does anybody have an October birthday that we can celebrate? October birthdays? Okay, perfect. Anybody in September? Mary Kay September? Okay, go grab a prize. All right, yeah, September. Birthdays.
Yeah.
Hi, friends, virtually. Okay, that's the loudest I think we're going to be. So now we should be able to. Hello, Rachel and Sarah. Christine, hey girl. Okay. Sarah for me. Sarah. Andrew said hello. Oh, okay, Sarah. I see. You are going to get something virtually. I see you, girl. Andrew is going to go grab a prize for you right now. She has October birthday. Go grab her something.
We got to figure out.
I'm like,
Andrew's got it. It's going to be real good. Okay. Would you like it small or big? Show me with your. You want the small one? Oh, she wants a big bag. I'm telling you, there's some good stuff in those little ones.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys.
Not the big ones, but
They're all good.
She's going to get a prize and she took her pickle to go. Like she didn't even know what. Like, I'll be right back.
All right, you guys. So speaking of, I'm gonna just wait till I get back.
Yeah,
we go. Get hype for prizes. We're like, wow!
Prize, motivation.
We found the empty one.
Oh no! I was like, yay! That was a joke. Oh shoot! Oh, okay, perfect. Coming.
Trying to eat your pickle.
Oh, that was the joke. She's like, 3. I was
Nothing
that
else. No.
Rough wrapped them.
I did. That's what I was like. I must have been like, that's so fun. Your gift was the tissue. This ain't free. Okay, you guys, well, I am so excited. Speaking of Cadillacs being earned, this next lady just rallied. You guys, she went outside of her comfort zone after 23 years in the business.
Wow.
For the first time ever, she got loud. She got loud on her social media. She got loud with her customers. Her unit got loud. You guys, I am so excited to welcome my Christ-following sister, a neighbor.
Yeah.
We already
That was a good
We're like 5 minutes apart, but you know when you're in Lowell, you're like, this is my neighbor, like everybody's neighbors, right? I'm like, that's 5 miles away. I'm like, she's my neighbor. So my neighbor, her kids babysat my kids. You guys, this is what legacy looks like. This is the epitome of legacy. This is the epitome of never stopping, never looking back. And you guys, if I'm going to be honest, a lot of you would love to trade places with her stock version of herself. It was a great version. But we have gotten to see the best version.
Yeah.
And that's been so awesome. Thank you for allowing us to witness you through Cadillac and your unit. You guys got loud. Rhonda was up here last week with like 16,000 items sold. You're like, sit down. I was like, what were your total sales? She's like 1,600. I'm like, okay. So I'm excited for you to hear from her. I'm excited. I hope you got your notebook and your pen is working because you're going to need it. Christine Hoekstra.
Okay, I'm just pre-warning you. You came in today as a Mary Kay Beauty consultant. You're gonna leave as an empowered woman. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Last night was life-changing for so many women. This afternoon, or this morning, was life-changing for many women. So I just want you to open up and receive and get excited and believe. Make sense? So I'm going to start with this. And some of you might have heard this before. It's by National Sales Director Diana Sumter. It's called Why Wash Your Face with Mary Kay. If you've never heard of this, I'm taking a twist on it. Okay? Because I think the one thing as a consultant in Mary Kay, we're like, what's your why? Why did you join? You know, we always think, oh, what's in it for me? Okay, it's not about us. Did you know that when you sell Mary Kay, you are investing in a local women-owned small business? You're impacting other women's dreams and their legacies. In fact, when you sell Mary Kay, you're investing in other women nationwide and worldwide. Be proud of that. Did you know that when you sell Mary Kay, you're also supporting a local economy? How many of you agree our economy needs help? Okay, thank you for selling Mary Kay. Did you know that when you sell Mary Kay, you're supporting a company that our founder, Mary Kay Ash, created for women like yourselves and other women you have not met yet, where women could be paid for what they're worth without sacrificing their priorities of faith first, family second, and career third. And we get to do this by living by the golden rule. How unique in the world today. Did you know that by selling Mary Kay, you're helping our company still be private, still be family owned, still be debt free after 57 years? And it's because all of you are selling Mary Kay. Because you're selling Mary Kay, we've had over $7 billion in sales a year. That's crazy. Thank you for selling Mary Kay. Did you know that when you sell Mary Kay, you're supporting over 5,100 employees in the United States? And guess what? We never shut down because you are selling Mary Kay in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of a crazy COVID. Because you're selling Mary Kay, you're helping women and their families in over 35 countries nationwide. Thank you for selling Mary Kay. Did you know that when you're selling Mary Kay, you're actually helping us be more environmental correct? There's a lot of companies that don't care about that. Mary Kay does. Again, 0% landfill, over 400,000 trees planted, and more are planned. Thank you for selling Mary Kay. Did you know that when you sell Mary Kay, you're helping women and children in domestic abuse shelters? And domestic abuse right now is so high. Thank you for selling Mary Kay. Also, you're helping us fund research for women's cancers, and that's not stopping. Thank you again for selling Mary Kay. And again, when you sell Mary Kay, you're helping families across the globe. And I think in a bitter world right now, we're kind of bitter about other people around the world. But because you're selling Mary Kay, you know there's another mom who's feeding her child in another country. And we're all one happy Mary Kay family. So thank you for selling Mary Kay, and thank you for blessing others. Sometimes I think you have to put a little twist in it, don't you? You know, it's not always about us. And I think sometimes, especially since we've been kind of locked down, crazy COVID, it's really, we don't always think it's about us, but we forget about all the stuff that we might have been told last year. We forget about all the stuff that we knew coming into the program, or into the company. And the thing is too, is that you've all been in Mary Kay for over a year. So stuff you might have been taught years ago, we kind of forget, especially in the last 6 months. So thanks for being here. I mean, we know it's kind of interesting on a Saturday afternoon. You probably had stuff this morning. You probably had stuff tonight. Some of you have driven quite a ways, whatever it is, but we want to get to know you. All right? Because not everybody knows each other, and we've been so blessed with virtual. It's still like, who is that person? I saw her on, okay, the Mary Kay picture is like tweaked. I feel like Mary Kay's yelling at me right now. You gotta help me. She's like going like this. Sorry, it's a technical issue. I believe that you did. The Mary Kay picture's like, and we're gonna blame it on Henry. My husband hung all the pictures. That's good. Okay. Yeah. I know. I know. Squirrel. Okay. Cadillac. No. Okay, so we want to hear who you are. Who you are. How long you've been in Mary Kay. Okay. And I want you to share what your biggest strength is in your Mary Kay business. But I also want to hear what you want out of today. Okay. So again, who you are, how long you've been in Mary Kay, what your biggest strength is. And if you're like, I don't know, you're going to come up with something. Okay? And what you want the most out of today. Okay? All right. Pretty lady, you got you right there on the spot.
I'm Courtney.
And stand up. We'll make some noise. Okay? I know that's okay. You don't have a stash. No one feels sorry for you when you say that.
Courtney, I've been in for 2.5 years, I believe. I don't know. It's been that long. My biggest strength. Booking.
She went.
Yes. I don't know, lately I've had rough patches, so it's hard to like pick something, but in my high post it was booking, so like seeing faces. What was the other thing?
What would you like to get out of today?
Confidence. More confidence. So.
Fire.
Woo!
I'm Bri. So I started 4 years ago with Jody, and then I kind of jumped out and became a customer. But then when I conceived him, I was like, I really wanted to stay at home all the time. I don't want to be working in a factory the rest of my life. So I picked it back up, and trying to think, what else do you want to know?
What's your biggest strength?
I like to help other people. I like to help other people more than myself. And then what I want to get out of today is, I don't know, I guess just in general how to better my business and actually, I guess maybe get a better clientele, better customer basis.
Awesome.
You're way too cute to be in a factory.
Well, I'm like,
I worked at a factory recently, and like, you're hot.
Yeah.
I
know.
Heavy.
Andrea, I want her here. Okay, I want her here just in case she gets sidetracked again. So. Sharing here.
I'm Julie. I've been in for 5 years in September. My strong point is I'm loud. What I like to get out today, I guess, is just more encouragement. The support system. So, thank you.
I just get out of my comfort zone. I'm able to do it confidently. Yeah.
On Dana too. That's not very good. Not at all. So, I have been in this time around 4 years, and before that I started like in 2002. So this is my second time around, and I got into my red jacket, then I came out, and I'm just trying to get myself back into that. I doing the virtual thing is challenging, and I'm trying to get over that fear of, just oh my god, so. And strength, I like people. I'm a people person.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Awesome.
I'm Alicia. I've been in for 5 years. I would say my strength is building relationships with people. And what I'd like to get out today is my fire back.
Yeah, girl.
I'm Leah, and I've been in married faith on and off for 2 years. And my strength would be getting started on trying to talk to someone about Mary Kay, but then my weakness to that is not being consistent with them. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So I guess that's what I'm trying to get at with this is like how to do that.
I'm Rhonda Stump. I've been in Mary Kay 9 years, and I feel like my strength lately has been perseverance, just continuing and not stopping. And what I'd like to get out of today is just more direction, ideas, and just ways how to continue to grow and just continually be consistent all the way around. She's very consistent. I'm Carrie Hopanen. I've been with Mary Kay for 25 years.
Wow.
And I learned. And my strength, my director over there, Christine, says is going live on my Facebook page, my VIP page with my clients. And what I'd like to get out of today is there's like this hurdle, and I need to go over it and like kill that hurdle. So
Stop on it.
yeah. I'm Sam. I've been in for 4 years. I think my strength is I'm like very passionate about empowering other women. I work in women's health. I'm the oldest of 3 girls. I feel like it's just kind of like in my blood to like do this. But yeah, I really am passionate about women feeling empowered to not be stopped by other people in the world and to live their life 110%. So I think that helps me in my business as well. I think what I would love to get out today is, I think, like being in 4 years, I've definitely had like hurdles that, sometimes I jump over, sometimes they stop me, stuff like that. And I think today, much like a lot of other events, like Mary Kay events have been for me, is I think sometimes like you just get in a funk. And I think today when I was driving here, the fact that I got myself here was a big deal. And then the second part was just being here and getting over that hurdle. And I think for a while I've been in this place where like I'm forgetting that this isn't for me, it's for someone else out there. And I like just need to get my mind back in that mindset in order to kind of excel in my Mary Kay business.
She is a nurse and she worked all night last night.
I did. I slept 2 hours. So if I say anything to you that doesn't make sense, that's my excuse. I had a really huge one. That's why I was late, actually. Sleeping and I had to get a coffee.
Wow.
I'm Catherine. I've been in Mary Kay for 5 years. It was July before I turned 20. I would say my biggest strength is probably just wanting to go the extra mile have for my customers, like willing to drop off stuff like immediately, all that. What I would like to get out of today, probably just like inspiration. I've kind of been slacking with Mary Kay, and I just wanted to like do more with it. So inspiration, get in the fire pit, going over that, all that. My name's Lex. I actually hit my year mark this month. So, I honestly don't really know my strengths because I had probably about a good 6 to 8 months where I couldn't do anything. So I guess really the thing that I want to get out of this is really just how to build a business and get back into it hardcore so I can be Red Jacket by the end of the month. That's my goal. So that's what I want to do.
Can I give you a point? You're persistent because you just already showed you had a hurdle that you got over and you're here right now. That's huge. So that's your strength.
Okay.
I'll take that one.
Receive that.
I'm Brittany. I've been in Mary Kay for a year and a half. I say my strengths right now are really getting bookings. I had over 20 last month that I so I that. I really want to work on because I was a Red Jacket and then I fall out, and then I get Red Jacket again and then I fall out. I guess what I want to take from today is getting that consistency where I have the team members that sign up and stay signed up and don't want to back down because I want women to help. I want to help them, and I feel like they're missing out on a lot when they back down. Yep. So that's I guess what I want to take from today.
I'm Savannah. I've been in for 8 years. I was just sitting here counting. I was like, oh, okay. My strength is I've just become a lot more confident person with just everything, my skincare, my makeup, even one-on-one. I'm just not the same person, and I thank all of you for that. What I want to get out of today is I was just happy to get out and hang out with adults. Get back in the groove.
Yeah, awesome. Love that. So we just went around the room. So the next 30 seconds, I want you to think about this fast. I want you to write on your piece of paper 3 strengths you have. Okay, the one you already stated in front of everyone in the room. I want you to think about 2 more. Okay. We're going to come back to that. We got people on here.
Yeah.
Woo! So normally when I train, it's crazy. I'm a very strong D personality for those of you who know the DISC. But I've noticed a lot of C has gotten a lot higher. And so normally I have my notes all typed up and I'm all organized. Well, I completely changed all my teaching this morning and I cannot bring my computer. So if I'm going like this, like what the heck's going on? But so our goal today is to empower you, to pour belief into you, release you of the doubt that you might have just brought in, okay? Release you of the fear, the anxiety that you might be experiencing. Anyone ever deal with that? Okay, we're women, we know how that is. Release you of guilt, move you into greatness and belief. That's our goal, okay? But I also know that some of you might have walked in a little bit bitter about today. Like, oh, I should have been in that Friday night party. Anyone there? Anyone there? Okay, be honest, okay? Some of you were like, I should have been there on Friday night. But you know what? You could have walked in bitter or you're going to be better. And you're going to accept the fact that, you know what? God's delay is not God's denial. And there's a reason you're here. So I want you to get over any bitterness. I want you to feel empowered and feel better. Make sense? Can I get an amen? Okay, because that makes a huge difference. It really, really does. So I'm going to give you hope. 23 years has been my journey in Mary Kay. And I have worked Mary Kay part-time. I worked it full-time. I worked it no time. Okay. I've worked it working a full-time job. I've worked it working part-time. I've worked it with a husband who had no income coming in. I've worked it where my husband had to be completely left alone for 6 months to grow a business. I've built this business with one child and now 3 grown children. Okay, even though I don't even think they're grown, but that's besides. So I give you all hope. I have been in all stages, and I like sharing that story. And it's so funny. And I had this conversation with some of the directors. You know, I think as women too, I love to hear the fact, oh, I've been in Mary Kay for this many years, this many years, this many years, this many years, this many years. And when people hear 23 years, they're like, oh, you should know it all. I'm like, yeah, I mean, the learning, we're always learning, are we not? But I also think as women, there's not a lot of companies that people are in for a long time anymore. And so I used to look at it as that, 23 years, I should be so much further ahead than where I am now. But I also know 23 years brings experience and it brings stability. And I used to be embarrassed about that. Now I'm empowered by that. I really am. Because if you go to Mary Kay Corporate and manufacturing, I think the average person working there is at 24 years right now. That says a lot about our company. A lot about our company. So, Ashley shared this, and I think she's in the other room. Ashley shared this last night or this morning. And it said, you look at the directors and you think, they probably ordered a special starter kit. Right? They got a starter kit that automatically gave them confidence. They got a starter kit that taught them how to book. And it actually probably came with bookings. Right? Okay. They got a starter kit that probably automatically put them in their red jacket. And maybe there was a car or at least one wheel in that starter kit. Okay. So did you know that all the directors, we've all started at the same level, but it was a decision. So I'm going to give you hope. Because as women, we kind of go through these phases. All right. Where you're like, I'm pretty strong. I got this. Okay. Guess what? I'm a star consultant. I like my prizes. I'm a hot mess. Okay. I can book anybody. Everybody wants to book with me. I know how to book virtual. I know how to book face-to-face. I can warm chatter. I look really desperate. Okay. Again, going just like this. I look slamming in my red jacket. I look slamming in my beauty coat. I look slamming in my director's suit. I look fat and ugly. Anyone ever been there? Okay. I love my Mary Kay car. I adore my Mary Kay car. I'm not in a Cadillac. I love my Mary Kay business. I'm so glad I met that other consultant, sister consultant. Why can't I be like her in comparison? I had a fantastic selling day. I'm terrified. I'm so scared today. You feeling those emotions? And I'm not trying to make you go up, down, up, down, up, down. But we do that. We really do as women. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing. I got into this Mary Kay thing. There's no training. I don't like my director. Mary Kay doesn't help us. I don't know what I'm doing. Man, I got this. Okay, so we go through those emotions. Again, God's delay is not God's denial. You all have this. I'm going to share with you my I story. And some of you know me. Some of you don't know me. Some of you are going to get to know me. You're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay, just saying. So 23 years ago, I was a hot little snob. Okay, I don't want to say hot like that. I had graduated from college, initially more than that. Graduated from college. Any MSU fans? Okay, woo! Okay, so went to MSU, got a double degree, moved to Grand Rapids, loved my job, and I was kind of a little bit of a corporate snob. I worked with all men, okay, and I had a lot of responsibility. I literally covered 5 states. And I was making a really good income. Met my husband, got married, somehow got pregnant, the whole works. And all comes together, whatever. Anyway, so in the meantime, I was the woman, when I thought about my future years ago, I did not see myself as a stay-at-home mom or a work-at-home mom. I didn't even know if I'd have kids. I thought I would be living in a high-rise in New York, like life would be good, driving my fun little car, have a little hot man on the side. I did not. Seriously? What's that? No, I didn't have that.
Was it Henry or was there another guy?
I don't know. My mom on this. My mom's in my unit. She might be. Okay. Mom, you didn't hear all this. Okay. Anyway.
Oh my God. She sees my mom up there.
Maybe. Who knows?
Your mom is not last night. You're good.
But I did not see myself where I am today. I really, really didn't. So it's crazy. You know, I moved to Grand Rapids again, got married, I was pregnant, working about 50 hours a week. And I was a sad pregnant person. I mean, I was hormonal. I was working so many hours. I was throwing up constantly. I was so, so sick. And I just remember all of a sudden waking up with cystic acne, like when you're pregnant. And my dermatologist at the time, I literally bought a whole bag of stuff to him. This is what I use, fix me. And I'm a hormonal crying. And he suggested trying Mary Kay.
Wow.
And you don't hear that anymore, I'll be honest. So again, 24 years ago, my dermatologist said use Mary Kay. So I literally went to the Yellow Pages. Remember that? Okay. Yellow Pages. And I was like, Mary Kay. And I seriously was like, I did. And I saw a couple names, like, okay, whatever, it looks good. You know, didn't get to see like a cute little picture of it. Yeah, Yellow Pages. But what's that? Yeah, I know.
And just listed as like Mary Kay Independent Beauty.
Yeah, because there was no computers. I'm using myself. Okay, I joined when I was an infant.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's how you found a Mary Kay beauty consultant. You went to the Yellow Pages.
Wow.
Okay. I'm so shocked. The Yellow Pages. Okay. If you don't know what the Yellow Pages are, go get outside. Okay. But no, but seriously, I went to the Yellow Pages, and I'll be honest, my mom had used Mary Kay back in the day, and I just remember going into the bathroom and saw those little samples, and like you'd add water to them, and I thought it was old lady stuff. I really did. I was kind of a snob. I used Estee Lauder, that was it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's bright pink gaudy Cadillacs and lipstick and all that stuff. But I was desperate, so I went to the LP to found this girl who ironically I had gone to high school with. And I grew up on the other side of the state. She moved here, I moved here, we connected, and I fell in love with the products. It took a while to get my face back to normal, but I fell in love with the products. Long story short, gave birth to that little boy, was still working about 50, 55 hours a week. My son was in daycare 10 hours a day, literally 10 hours a day, and I was a miserable mom. And that's the one thing I want you to realize. Every single time you're sharing with a woman, if she doesn't have a reason of despair or hope, everybody has a need, and that's sometimes the biggest thing you have to find. And that need for women can change day to day to day to day, especially right now with COVID. So every woman who has a need needs a Mary Kay opportunity. So this consultant was brand spanking new, and her director suggested that she invite a guest to a career brunch. Well, I knew what that career brunch was. I'm like, she wants to recruit me. That's all she wants. Again, you see the snob come out? But I was like, oh, I'm a nice person. I really am, even though I acted like I wasn't then. And so she invited me to this career brunch. I told my husband it was a fundraiser. And literally I went there, and I was thinking, oh, it's all these old ladies peddling lipstick. That's what I really thought it was going to be. I walked in there, probably like this, sat down, they fed me. It was free. I was happy. And I was blown away by the professional women. I was blown away by just their attitude. I was blown away by their faith. And my faith was strong, but it was never like it is now. Okay? So, you know, she gave me some information. I was like, yeah, I'll think about it. I heard 50%. I'm like, I'm a numbers person, so 50%. I was like, that's really a good option. I wanted to play hard to get, so I went back to my corporate job for another month, for another 2 months, for another 3 months until my foundation ran out. And then I looked, I'm like, I'm spending $35 on foundation. At that time, at Estee Lauder, 23 years ago, $35. I can join Mary Kay for $100 and get my foundation at half off. Then I got the Applause magazine. I started going to the Applause magazine because the woman, my director that kind of gave me an applause, and I'm sitting there at my other job going like this, seeing the applause magazine. And guess what? I signed that day. I didn't ask my husband. I told him it was still a fundraiser. Long story short. So I came in very part-time. I was not, again, going to embrace the Mary Kay business. I thought I would still continue to be a working mom, my kids in daycare. And then I went to a sales meeting. And that's the one thing I will say. I've always been consistent with sales meeting. I didn't care if I was like sicker than a dog, if it was like 10 below zero, whatever. I always went to sales meeting. And I got the vision. I got the hope. And that's the one thing I just absolutely love about this. The one thing too, I've always been competitive, but I've always kept my goals inside. Make sense? So when Brooke and all, they're like, get loud, get loud. I tell a few people, but I don't share the vision, if that makes sense. And it's crazy how Mary Kay, you'll change your perspective by the people you hang with. That makes a huge difference. I remember being in Mary Kay for 1 year, and one of my good running buddies, and I was consistent. Like I seriously I never missed a star. I never missed a company event. I was still working full time, having children. Okay, my husband's my other child, so he was around too. But I was consistent, and I was stable, and I was happy. But I remember I'd been in Mary Kay for a year, and one of my running buddies was like in her red jacket, and she was all hot and sassy, and she had like 4 kids. I was like, what is she doing? And I remember my director was like, well, have you done any sharing appointments? I'm like, no. I just assumed everyone would join my team. Okay? And again, I had to step out of my comfort zone and learn how to do that too. So I love sharing just my eye story just because, again, everybody comes in different perspectives. It took my husband rolling his eyes at me a year after I'd been in Mary Kay. Because I remember looking at him and saying, guess what? We were up north camping, and I'm like, I think I'm going to try to earn a car. And he sat there and went, let your husband do that once. Okay? I earned a car 4 months later. Okay, so it's those little stories, those little perspectives. So my kids are now older. All of my kids, okay, have come home either in a Mary Kay car. They've all driven the car. They've all been insured by Mary Kay because of the car. I laugh because my son, who now lives in Colorado, he's 24. He used to work for Jimmy John's. This is the reason why you all need a Mary Kay company car. When you work at home, sometimes your Mary Kay car sits in the driveway for a day, especially if you're not leaving the house. And so my son, who worked at Jimmy John's at that time, I literally would say, it's okay, hon, just take my Mary Kay car. Well, he went and delivered for Jimmy John's. So my Mary Kay car with the Mary Kay on the bottom had a Jimmy John's topper. And I was like, please don't be freaky fast, okay? And don't say it's me driving the car. But that's the thing. It's a family business. You can be so excited about that. So for those of you who are like, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for the influence. My kids remember that Mom gave up her Mary Kay car, and I worked hard for that so that they could use it and not put the miles in the gas in theirs. Make sense? And I take huge pride in that. But so I always like to share a little bit of my story. So Jenna and Brooke are going to really bring out some pointers for you today. There's a couple things I want you to think about before I close. And how are we doing for time?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We're doing great.
Where's the end timer? I forgot the end timer. Okay. So a couple things as we're thinking about things today as we wrap it up. Okay. I want you to decide, are you a lifer? Because we always see people come into Mary Kay for a reason or a season. Okay. And somehow they're going to be an influence in your life. But are you a lifer? Because that's the one thing. I have had many companies, even the company I used to work for, I worked for Reynolds Aluminum, came back and said, would you consider coming back to work for us? I had other direct selling companies, and I think many of probably other directors had to contact. You'd be really good at selling this. I'm like, no, it's not consumable. Okay. Are you a lifer in Mary Kay? That's the one thing I will say after 23 years. There's a reason why I've stayed with this company for 23 years. There's a reason why I've been consistent for 23 years. Because I love it. I love it. And I am so devoted to this business. Even those pity party days when you just don't want to do anything, I think what it's brought back to me. I think what it's brought to my family. Even in March when COVID set in, I was like, virtual what? Okay, I seriously was like mad. Well, I was mad at COVID, but I was like, okay, Christine, you still have to step out of your comfort zone and learn. And I thought, what has Mary Kay given me? I've not had a car payment in 20 plus years. That's crazy. And I'm not trying to brag about that, but just to impress you, like what they'll give for us. What they'll give for us. It makes a huge difference. Went off on a tangent on that one too. But also in there, I'm loyal to the company. I won't stray. And I think that's the other thing too, is a lot of people think, well, if it's not a get quick rich thing, then I'm gonna go figure something else out. There's not a better get quick rich thing, it's a decision to work. Make sense? So I want you to think about this. Are you a lifer? Okay. Are you committed? Are you growing? Could you be stagnant? Are you actively working? Where you are right now, can you amp it up? Are you willing to amp it up? Are you willing to be strategic? Or are you just being silly? And are you willing to ask for help when you need it? And I think that last one right there is, are you willing to ask for help, is huge. Because like I said, I've gone through the good, the bad, the ugly. I have never missed a seminar. I've only missed one leadership. Okay. Literally all of my babies went to seminar, okay, either nursing or I had my mom come and help me. I never used anything as an excuse. And that's the one thing, it's your MKU, it's your Mary Kay University. So I applaud you for all being here. I applaud you, because you could have been off doing whatever else it is, you know. But ask for help, dig in today. Jen and Brooke are going to share some great things with you. But I wanted to kind of lead you with those questions. Again, not to make you bitter, but to make you better, to grow up, to walk out of here going, I got this. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay, guys, really quick. Okay, all the good giveaways. We need to get more coffee. Okay, so one thing that stuck out from what Christine was saying, let's just rattle it off really quick. One thing, one or two things.
It's not a quick, or it's not get rich quick.
Not get rich quick.
Loyal to the company.
What's that?
Loyal to
Loyal to
the company.
the company.
It pays
Not
to be
fair, but better.
Not bitter, but better.
It pays to be consistent.
Yeah, it does. Pays to be consistent.
Everyone who has a need needs the Mary Kay opportunity.
Yes. I mean, that is so funny when she was talking about that, because it's like my husband always says, like, they have a need, you need to go and find it. Everybody has a need. Need for more money, more flexibility, more freedom. People, there is such freedom in being free. And a lot of people don't understand what freedom really looks like. Freedom comes with a cost. It comes with you working your business. So thank you. We're going to do a couple of door prizes. Okay, so we kind of already heard. So I heard maybe some comeback stories from Dana. It was so funny because Dana walked in and I go, you are sharp. Yeah. Are you a cosmetologist? She goes, I once was. How do you know? I go, you can always point them out. You can always pinpoint them. They've got like perfect hair, perfect face.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll
guys,
picture.
so I want to know. So I already know who somebody is going to win this prize, but we want to know who's been in the longest. So if you've been in for over 5 years, go ahead and stand. Over 5 years. Just like come back, count me down. Okay, over a decade, over 10 years.
Yay!
Wow, she's like, where are my toes? Over a decade, over 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I ran out. Okay, go grab a prize. All right. Yay! Rhonda and Savannah also go grab a prize. Yay! Rhonda, go grab a prize as well. Don't take the Zoom call with you. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, I am so excited. We're going to do some more prizes along the way, so don't worry. I'm going to wait for them to get back because I want to introduce Miss Jen. And we're gonna be great. Are you guys ready? Yeah, for Jen, so you'll have time for it. And if you have to go to the bathroom, obviously this isn't like grade school. You have to raise your hand or get a bathroom pass. So just go. I just so loud.
I'm gonna talk fast.
All right. So you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Jen a second. And this is, you just know when people come into your life, make sure that if you're getting prizes, remember to take a picture and send it to your sales director. And I remember Jen showing up in Lansing, and she sat down in my new consultant training, and I'm like, was real basic. Like, I'm like, Mary Kay in touch, you know, like real basic. And I just know that God has positioned us for a purpose for this woman to be in my life. And I'm sure she's going to share a little bit, but you talk about, Miss Dana was just talking about like a comeback. This woman has had such a comeback story. And I'm just going to say one thing that Lisa said in this last training. She said, get rid of. I'm sick of your old glory story.
Mm.
If you were like that, I was a red jacket, I'm sick of your old glory story. Get back in and stay in. What is our old glory story that we're like, I am just getting ready to release it? Mm-hmm. And so Jen was sick of her old glory story. And I'm just so proud of you. It's been really, really awesome. You guys, last night, I'm going to hype you up a second because Kim, our newest sales director, is tomorrow night, or 9 o'clock, Sunday Night Live. This is coming in hot behind her, so you better watch out. And you guys, I know exactly what Christine said. That some of you have walked in right now and you're excited. Like, I feel the excitement coming off of you. And some of you are like, I want to be like that. I want to get my excitement back. And I know this position may not be even what you're ready for or what you want to do or whatever, but I'm just going to ask. Man, last night, Kim in the back of my Cadillac was like, this is what I needed. These friends are the kind of friends I needed. Sitting around Panero, right? Last night.
We should have had her call.
I was just in Panero, guys. She said we were having dinner, but she said it was a family dinner. Because you're a part of a family. You've been in for over a year. And I just hope again that your pen is ready because I saw some of Jen's notes. And I'm so excited that you decided to join our circle, even though it wasn't part of our circle. You stepped your way into the circle, and I'm so excited. So give it up for Jen McClure! Okay, give it up for Jen McClure!
It's 3:30 right now.
I don't even know. We got it.
I'll take the Well, hi, for you guys who don't know me, I am Jen, and it's what? Oh, wow. Hello. And I record. Oh, seriously?
I'm sorry.
Oh, they're recording my butt forever. You're welcome. Yes, it's true. It's true. So yeah. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jen, and I am adopted into this beautiful family. And I'm just going to give a little background on that, actually. So I'm a second time around girl as well. And my first time around, I was a sales director, and I had a gal in my unit, and her name was Sandy. And because Sandy needed an adopted director in Lowell, Michigan, I went to the Yellow Page. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't. I was the internet. And I reached out to the director from Lowell, Michigan. And it was Brooke Bennett Young. And I don't know if you remember this, we had one conversation probably 10 years ago. Yeah, and I walked away from that conversation. I said to my husband, there's something about that woman, and she's supposed to be in my life.
One conversation, never met her face to face. Life happened, and I left Mary Kay, unfortunately, for a bit. But when I knew that I was going to come back and this was going to be a part of my life again, I really wanted to find my family. I was like, you know what? First time around, I was not in a good place to make those personal connections. And somebody said relationships, and I guess that makes all the difference, right? So I worked a vendor show with someone who was a previous adoptee of mine, and I was just praying. I really was. I was like, God, I don't want to do this by myself this time. Help me find my people. And lo and behold, Susan goes, hey, did you hear Brooke Bennett Young is doing a meeting in Lansing? What? And my business had been popping in Lansing for a year. And I like Lansing. The traffic is awful. I'm really sorry. I'm from the country, and I'm like, where do these people come from? So I'm like, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, I don't know. That's where it's popping. That's where I'll go. Lo and behold, a year into my season 2, Brooke Bennett Young starts a meeting in Lansing, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And you don't always get to see God connect the dots, but that day I did. I came to my husband, I'm like, I was like crying, I know, shocking. Shocking. And I said, now I get why it's popping in Lansing, even when it hasn't made sense to me for a year. Wow. So you never know. You never know. The person that you meet in the gas station may be your friend for life who's going to make a difference for you and your children and your grandchildren. You do not know. Don't close your heart to anything, you guys. So, just so you, I'm going to teach this in 3 parts. So my degree is in English, so I like some outlines. And chapter 1 is just to tell you a little bit about my story. So, as I said, this is my second time around here. Okay, first time around, it came into my life when I had left. My degree is in teaching. I had a brief career as a professional opera singer. I had a voice studio, so I had a little life under my belt and done a variety of things. We had just moved out to the country, and I had left my position as a youth minister because our family was out of balance. And I thought, wow, if I was just home more, I could focus on family. Okay, so I leave a career that I love to move out to the country, which I didn't love, to be really honest. We decided we're going to be really family focused, and I'm going to homeschool these kids. Okay. And then we're going to be really family focused and take on a 3rd child who had significant special needs. Okay. So I don't know if you've ever I don't know, had this season where you're like, what was I thinking? Have you ever had that season? The what was I thinking season? Yeah, but here you are, and this is your life. And so that remembered it, and that was not a good balance for me either. And depression and bipolar runs in my family. And we recently lost my brother because he couldn't overcome that. Okay, so that's the genetic that I bring to the situation, and I now have left all of my support system to do this other thing. And Mama was not in a good place. So my husband saw somebody at the gym who said, hey, I'm doing Mary Kay party, you should come. And my husband poured me into the car. He's like, you go make some friends. Okay, that's a good idea. And that's my first time out of Mary Kay, and it was awesome. So it's a journey. And here's the thing, that girl that invited me into that party, she was a personal use consultant. Never before, never since did she ever do a Mary Kay party. And the only reason she did that party is because Tanya was in DIQ. That was the first time, the last time, the only time anyone ever talked to me about Mary Kay. And what if my husband hadn't talked to that girl at the gym? And what if Tanya hadn't been in Mary Kay? You don't know. You guys don't know who is lining up to be your next partner. You talk about getting in your red jacket and falling out of your red jacket. You don't fall out of it. Just go meet some more people.
Yeah.
For real. So that was season 1. Did that pretty successfully for about 10 years. 5 free cars, team all over the country, 2 offspring sales directors. Good times, good times. Unfortunately, there were some stressors at home that nobody knew about. So again, we want to talk about that depression, that anxiety, special needs kid, husband with PTSD, stress, rage, control, crazy going on at home. But you put a smile on your face because you got to pay your bills. And that day came in 2014 when I could not do it one more day. And Mama broke. And I did not answer the phone for 4 years. And as great as this company is, I'm here to tell you, as a director, I got a paycheck for 10 years. I got a paycheck for a year. Didn't return a phone call. Didn't deliver product. Didn't place an order. For a year, still had money coming in. That's how good this company is. But that is not the end of the story. It's not even the best chapter of the story. That's chapter 1. But here, what I'm telling you is whatever your chapter 1 is, whatever it is that you brought to this day, it's only chapter 1. It's only chapter 1. Your best chapter is still to come. So I want you to, but I have to tell you that was a time of great loss. Time of great loss. I was in that season, the dark season, for 4 years. 4 years. So eventually the unit goes away. They come and take the car. Your customers find other Mary Kay ladies. That's just how it is. You know, you have to do the job, right? So that was a huge loss. And here's what I want you to write down. Give yourself. So that's a big loss. Give yourself time, space, and permission to grieve your losses. Because you guys, we all have them. Give yourself time, space, and permission to grieve your losses. Embrace your pivotal moments. Because you will come to a crossroads where you get to choose condemnation or conviction. Condemnation is rooted in shame and leads to destruction. The other, conviction, is rooted in hope and it will lead you to determination. Can you say it again?
Yeah.
Yes. Give yourself time, space, and permission to grieve your losses. Embrace your pivotal moments. Because you will be at a crossroads where you get to choose condemnation or conviction. Condemnation is rooted in shame and it leads to destruction. Conviction is different. It's rooted in hope and leads to determination. Which leads you to chapter 2. So when you have those moments, you guys, you have 2 options. You can break down or you can break through. Okay? Or maybe the most beautiful creations come from God putting back the broken pieces and creating something new. So I'm going to talk to you about freedom, chains, and freedom. I want you to think about this. What do you need to walk away from? What do you need to walk away from so you can walk into your next chapter? Or another option, maybe you're on the right path and you just need to walk it out. Maybe. I mean, this is a reality check, you guys. I'm not in your house. I don't know how you run your business. But maybe there's something you need to walk away from so you can walk into chapter 2. Do not get lost in the wilderness of the familiar.
Lisa's face is like,
I'm just thinking.
yeah, Bible study. I'm like, come on, girl.
Don't get lost in the wilderness of the familiar. I'm not even going to call it a comfort zone because, you guys, it's not comfortable. It's the wilderness. At least the old office. I wrote this before you did your thing this morning, Lisa. Stop waiting for somebody else's permission or approval. There is your crown. Go get it. Stop waiting for somebody else's permission or approval. There is your crown. Go get it. When you taught that this morning, Lisa, I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Let your mess become your message and your test be your testimony.
Ooh.
I mean, did I love going through 4 years of being suicidal? Clearly not. But did it make me a more humble person and able to relate to people differently? Yeah, it did. It's not the journey I would have chosen, but I guess that's the one that I needed. Because chapter 2 is pretty great. It is okay to have a pity party. It's okay. For 4 minutes. Maybe 4 days. Forever, not an option. Forever is not okay. You were not created to stay in chapter 1. Do not major on the minors. I had somebody tell me something a bit ago, and it really weighed on me. It was just one of those things you're like, wow. And have you ever had somebody just say something over you like that, and you're like, huh, okay, I received that. It was my high school choir teacher. He had actually cut an album back in the day, and I was on the album, which was really cool when you're 16 and you're like, oh, that's super cute, whatever. And somebody had heard me sing it somewhere, and they were talking about me on Facebook, and he said, yes, Jenny has a very special voice in her singing and also in her speaking. And I'll tell you what, you guys, you have a special voice. You have a special voice. There are people that need to hear in your voice. Somebody that nobody else in this Mary Kay world can reach. They need your voice. Your voice. You have a special strength, or you wouldn't be here. There are women that are not here today. There are women that would have given up after however many years, and their dreams didn't come true the way they wanted them to. So I told you the topic is bondage versus freedom. So we're going to talk about some chains, and this is where you're going to get a little meat and potatoes. So on your notes, if you would draw some links on a chain, and I will tell you, when you get these chains right, you will not have chains in your business. You won't have an excuse to not pay for whatever it is that you feel like is eluding you. And this is just really some nuts and bolts stuff. But I don't know, raise your hand if you feel like I'm going along with my business, but I feel like I have a weak link. Does anybody feel like that besides me? Okay. All right, so just so you know, this is what we all do. And I'm going to ask you to kind of evaluate where you are on these. Not right now. Right now, I'm just going to have you writing down. So links on the chain, part 1, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 links.
Jen,
Yes?
they can't hear you very well, so I'm just gonna have you.
I have to make my special voice be bigger. Okay. Hello, I was in the opera. I can do that. All right. So 9 links in the chain, and these are just basic skills. But here's the thing: if you have a weak link in your chain, it doesn't work. It falls apart. So I just want you to be aware of these. So link number 1 is your desire or your vision. Bible says, without a vision, the people perish. And there is nothing sadder than perishing quietly. Link number 2, a list of people. And I want you to think about your people. Here's what I have observed. That you will tend to, and when I say you, I mean me as well, you will tend to be drawn to people who are one level below your own perceived deserved level. Interesting? You will be drawn to people who are one level below your own perceived deserved level. So I don't know if you guys are like this. I mean, you're like, oh, she's so sharp. I could never talk to her. Blah, 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 blah. Well, the answer is, number 1, stop being scared about that because you don't know. That whole time while that crazy was going on in my house, I had a nice suit. I had a free car. I looked great on the outside and nobody knew. So that woman that you're scared of right now, you don't know that she might be desperate for a sisterhood. You don't know if she's up to her eyeballs in debt because she's trying to play the part. You just don't know. So your own perceived deserve level. The other thing I will say about that is that when you build you, all the ships rise. When you build you and your own confidence by getting out of your own dang way and just doing the work, you will attract a different caliber of people, which will then put you in a positive spiral and be making more money. And then feel better about you, making more money. You see, do we like the direction of this spiral? Yes. So as your list of people, third link in the chain, bookings. If you do not have a good booking script, we can get you one. We have like 74 of them. It's okay. True story. Next link, coaching. So once you have started this relationship, coaching is the next step. It's a learned skill. Next link is selling. Again, a learned skill. Next link, sharing, which will then lead to, you can do a little arrow off to the side or whatever, which will lead one of two places. She's either going to say yes, and you're going to grow your team, and that's the team building leg, and that's a new skill. Or the other option is she's going to say no for now, and she's going to be your customer. And that's customer service, and that's another link out of that chain. All right. So you've got all that stuff going on. The next link in the chain is to evaluate and tweak. I don't know if you guys, I personally in my own business have been guilty about this, but I get so I jacked up doing the stuff that I don't take time to sit back and evaluate and go, is that working? Is it not working? Do I need a new skill? Do I need to talk less? Do I need to call more? You know what I mean? Evaluate how it's going. And lean into your sales director because that's our job for you. We will give you the straight scoop. We will give you the straight scoop and help you. Then celebrate. Yay, the next link is celebrate. Okay? Because if it's all about work and no play, eventually you're going to run out of joy in that. So set a goal, celebrate it, eat the chocolate, or whatever that is for you. And the next link is repeat. all of the above. So it ends up being a link in a good chain. How many doing on time?
Great.
Yay! All right. Just kidding. So that whole celebrate one, there's more attached to that as well. When you are celebrating, you also want to be aware of your accountability and your daily disciplines. So that's all part of like the process of just doing the thing. There's another chain that you want to be aware of, and it's kind of more, it's not basic skills, it's but you gotta have them. You gotta have them. And again, these are links in the chain that work together, and if you have a weak link, it's gonna be a problem for you. So this is links in a chain part 2. Link number 1, and how much for you? Link number 1. The link number 1 is you. And what I mean by that is when you grow you, everything changes. So when I mean you, I mean your habits, your character, your headspace. And the hard question here is, what have you been unwilling to do? Until now. Until now. Because when you change that, you get to chapter 2. Second link in the chain. Oh, and I will say, if you guys are not listening to $1 Million Message every day, $1 Million Message, I cannot preach it hard enough. It is very, very powerful. It will change your brains every day. Don't miss that. The second link in that part of the chain is your people. And by that, I mean your strong target market. And I kind of already talked about that. Link number 3, your skills. We already talked about the learned skills in Mary Kay doing the thing. But the additional skills that kind of go along with that whole first chain is your time, office, money and emotional management. Again, those are all places that you. I'm just talking to you like big girls. Is it okay? Okay. You don't need me to give you a script, but I can probably help you with some head stuff because that's where I come from. So those are the 2 chains that I teach in our units, and you want to be aware of any weak links and get it fixed because it's worth it. I will. Yes, sir?
You said time off is money what?
Emotional management. Yes. Because, woo. I will tell you that as people, women specifically, I think we tend to want to make everybody happy all the time, right? Like, I don't know who told us that was our job, really, but I know we feel like that a lot. But here's what you need to understand: you have finite capacity. You only have so much time, energy, resources, and all of that. And when you say yes to one thing, you are automatically also saying no to something else. So, for example, when I was I was out of balance in my business. I was working. I was saying yes to everything you're okay, and not paying attention to things well enough at home because you can't be 2 places at once, and that's not sustainable. So understand that in every yes, there's also a no, and you just got to dig into that and choose with wisdom. Okay. One of the best checks you will ever get is a reality check. What's important to you will show up in your date book and your checkbook. At least we share a brain. What you give your time and money to will reveal your values. So, in light of that, what do you need to start doing and what do you need to stop doing? I'll be really honest, I had to take Poshmark off my phone. It was getting a little insane. Shopping. Yeah. And it was whatever. It was just not a good use of my resources. And in my own affirmations daily, one of the affirmations that I tell myself is what I do daily lines up with my values. And I have to look at where I was investing my time and money and realize I was really being hypocrite. And that's not a good place to leave from. It's not. This is how I choose to invest my time now. I ask these questions. Does it make me money? Does it bring me joy? Does it add value to somebody else? And 4, as a person of faith, does it line up with God's call for my life? Yep. Number 1, does it make me money? Number 2, does it bring me joy? Number 3, does it add value to someone else? And number 3, does it line up with my divine calling? There are 2 games you'll never win: the blame game and the comparison game. I'll tell you that I was not happy about driving into this retreat and being the only one not in my Cadillac. But guess who's responsible for that? It's me. It's me. And it's just a journey. And I'm not gonna be whining about that because I didn't do the work yet. So you guys, no matter where you are in the business, whatever level you're at, don't play the blame game. Don't play the comparison game. Take responsibility. This is your life. It's not a dress rehearsal. Oh my gosh, you guys are here for a reason. We do not operate by our feelings because we are grown-ups. That's what children do. Operate from a place of conviction. So if you're sad about something, go ahead and be sad and then figure it out. Because the world needs joy like never before. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's still stressful out there right now. And it's our job to bring the joy. The world needs it. And this is just more along the lines of how you choose what to do with your life. A confused mind is nothing. Give yourself permission to let go of the good so you have capacity to grab the great. I have grandbabies, and my youngest grandson is he's 18 months, and he's so cute. And I picked him up the other day, and he's a truck in one hand, and Granny always has like one. This guy's truck in one hand, he's like, and he grabs my bling in the other, and I watched him do this, do this, and he flat out could not decide where he wanted his attention to go. We are grown-ups. We're not 18-month-olds. So don't be doing this. Figure out your focus and go. So, the end of the story, I told you that I had chapter 1. And looking good. Mama broke for 4 years. But I didn't stay broke. So in 2018, I had gone through significant some physical challenges. I do struggle with some eating issues, and first I lost 40 pounds, and then I gained 120, and I was like, well, I'm still on the planet. I better figure out what I'm gonna do in my life. So I was working at retail as a very not a small girl on my feet for 8 hours a day for minimum wage, so I didn't care about for somebody else. It's not a pleasant chapter, but kind of so funny. Like, whatever, it takes you years sometimes. Want that? Way to go. I blew my knee out. So I decided I'm gonna get healthy. Something like better than herself. Blew my knee out. It was crazy. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of good. I got my knee up. Long story short, clearly can't do retail on crutches, right? So I'm gonna go down the so long story short, I was sitting with my knee up, and I was using it. And by the way, marriage sign, family sign, everything. Miracle happened, for real. Yeah, I know, I love that first story. So he's like, what? Because you're gay. I could get online with sales thing, I could pass it that first. And he's like, yes, you could. I was like, I think this one. And I signed it up. And the rest is history. I've been back in for 2 years. Yeah. I called my director and my former director called me from 10 years old. For me, I know. Okay, so I'm going to take it. But I called my previous director, and I said, hey, Mama, thanks for seeing me all that time. I'm like, that. She's like, like, that is okay. You don't understand. This is the year anniversary